And welcome to the Hollywood Harry Sports Show this week. Hey, we went on a road trip this week. Yeah, we left Rochester. We went to Syracuse to interview Matt Park, the voice of the Syracuse Orangemen. I think if anybody's listening to the radio, you know who Matt is. He's been there a long time. Exciting guy and really interesting guy to talk to. A plethora of information about Syracuse sports. And you Syracuse fanatics will know everything I talk to him about and ask him about. So stay right there. We're going to take a little break. Come right back with Matt Park.
Roof. Everyone knows Greg the Roofer by now, but you don't know Greg works all winter long. Siding, windows, or roofs. Greg has financing for everyone. So call 585-727-0702 for a free estimate. But don't ask for roofer. Lost your job? Divorced? Medical bills? Is the world caving in on you? Avoid foreclosure and save your credit. Greg the Roofer will buy your house for cash in any condition, fast. Avoid the pitfalls of bankruptcy and call Greg now at 727-0702. That's 727-0702 and sell your house before it's too late. Jack Greco's Furniture is announcing their largest sale ever. Oak, cherry, maple, hickory, and quarter sawn oak. Dining room sets, bedroom sets, home office, flat screen TV stands, and all-season outdoor poly furniture. Now through Sunday, Jack Greco's for the finest in hardwood furniture. Here at Sleep Cheap, we have thousands of satisfied customers. Here's just a few.
I found this queen mattress at Sleep Cheap for only $3.99. Everywhere else in town, they wanted $1,000.
I shopped all over town for a king mattress, and I found the best value at Sleep Cheap.
I bought a great mattress for myself at Sleep Cheap, and while I was there, I bought a twin for my grandson for only $69.
With 2 locations to serve you, it's cheap.
Okay, we are with Matt Park, the voice of the Syracuse Orange. Matt, how you doing?
I'm great.
Thanks for taking a little time here out of your busy schedule to sit and talk to a nobody like myself.
Stop.
20 years, Matt? For you now?
Not quite.
Not quite.
It goes by fast.
It goes. How long you been doing this gig here now?
Well, I've been here 15 years now.
Okay.
And it's flown by. My first year back at school, not counting the time I was here as a student, coincided with the 2003 National Championship in basketball.
That was your first year?
Yeah, the fall of 2002. And
what a way to start, huh?
Yeah, it's been hard to live up to that bar since. But yeah, so it's been 15 school years.
Tell us how you got here. Just, you know, were you inspired to be in broadcasting as a kid, or?
Oh, yeah.
Or what? Okay.
Yeah, I kind of knew at a pretty young age that I wasn't going to play shortstop for the Yankees. So,
oh, you too, huh? I wasn't going to be center for the New York Rangers. But
yeah. So I had to find a way to make my living in sports, which always appealed to me. And, and being a sports nut from as far back as I can remember, and to find a career in sports was awfully exciting. And so I just, right through high school and the whole deal, kind of viewed sports journalism as an opportunity that seemed to suit my interests and skills, and happened to have the best school in the country for what I wanted to do was in my backyard here at
You are a Newhouse graduate.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, for everybody out there who doesn't know of Newhouse, the 4 people, Newhouse is considered one of the elite schools for broadcast communications.
Yeah, I mean, it's been...
Go through some of the names of the people that have graduated from Newhouse.
sort of litany of it starts with Marty Glickman.
Marty Glickman,
and
yep.
He was a pioneer in the industry, was here as a student athlete in the 30s and went on to be really the voice of Madison Square Garden and
yes.
basketball doubleheaders, and created a lot of the terminology and the court geography that we use when we call basketball games. He sort of showed the way, and then went on to do everything in New York and nationally, and did the Giants and the Jets and a lot of.
Yeah, but the names today that everybody knows.
Sure. Well, then, but what I'm getting at is following him, because he came here, Bob Costas, and because Bob Costas came here, Mike Tirico and Sean McDonough and the rest, and because, and then you sort of really create the reputation that's brought in.
All the guys I listen to
of other people
on Fox Radio and stuff, they have a connection here, and everybody, even the broadcast guys.
Somebody in every
genre of sports
every league,
that has a connection to Newhouse, excluding myself. Okay, I went to
lived to tell the story.
I've lived to tell the story. I've been kind of lucky, you might say, for somebody with no education, but here we are. Now, through the years, let's talk about some of the coaches. Obviously, basketball, there's been one.
Right.
Okay, talk about some of the football coaches. Who's your favorite coach along the way?
Well, Coach Mack.
Coach Mack, of course.
Rest in peace. I mean, in terms of just being somebody to interact with and the personality, the charisma, really unmatched. He's maybe the best people person I've ever been around in my life, and I've been fortunate to get to know some great people. And we all loved him and lost him last year.
Just recently, yeah.
He was awesome, and worked with him calling the games on the radio. And then, the other coaches all had a different sort of thing going for them. Paul Pasqualoni won a lot of football games here, and
yes, he did.
Epic grinder. Had an unbelievable coaching staff, did a great job recruiting, bringing, NFL.
Did you get along with
here? Absolutely. But again, he's so locked in on what he was doing day to day.
He looks so serious all the time.
Absolutely. It's not like we.
You know what Coach Mack told me? I'm going to tell you a funny story. I'm in Boston doing sports, and he was. He had just given up coaching the Patriots, I think, at the time. But I met with him. I got together, and he told me something, and he said, "Harry, if you repeat this, you'll never work in this town again." Never forget that about Coach Mack.
Turned around and told 6 other people.
Yeah, right, yeah. But I won't repeat it because I'm never going to work there anyhow again.
Sure, but they each had different attributes and traits, and Coach P is still at it. He loves the game. And
right.
He'd coach high school if that's what it took. But Doug Marone's a great coach. Dino Babers is a great coach.
Doug Marone, geez, goes to the national, the quarterfinals to go to the Super Bowl, and. I like Dino Babers. I think he's got a lot of personality.
He does.
I'm not around him as much as you, but for the time I met him.
Having the ability to work the room or to be a guy that draws people in, he's the closest to Coach Mack. And they don't make him like Coach Mack anymore.
Right.
There's just, because of the nature of college sports and the dollar figures involved and the scrutiny, the personalities just aren't.
Boy, you said a mouthful right there, the whole thing.
And with Babers, he's a very genuine person. He connects, I think, with players and coaches. He knows the game. He approaches the game a different way than really has been done here before. So I think he's seeded for success. It's really hard. So it takes a little time and patience to kind of get his system implemented, but I think it can be a successful.
Obviously recruiting is the big thing, and when you're not winning, recruiting is hard. Coach Babers, you think if he starts winning, he's going to move on, or what?
Well, I think that's a very upstate New York pessimistic point. People do that.
Well, we're here,
crazy. Do you want to win or not? To me, the only way to take that is, well, I guess maybe we better not win too much or we'll lose the coach. No, or same thing with one and done basketball players. Well, they have to accomplish something here to move on. If they do that and they move, you tip your cap and let them go. That being said, I don't think Babers has like 1 foot out the door or is looking at the next job or next place to live or is dying to do it. First, he's worried about winning football games here.
Well, that's good to hear.
That's got to be the first thing that happens.
Yeah.
When that happens, then you can sort of deal with the opportunity to, you work to retain him and coaching staff or whatever, or if he has other options, maybe he pursues those. I don't lose a lot of sleep over it. I think it's way down the road right now in terms of, they have to have some success and then sustain success before you start worrying about those types of things.
Well, speaking of Coach Babers last year, I happened to be here for the Clemson win, which was probably one of the top 3 most exciting times I've ever been in the Dome. You called the game, so you saw it. I mean, everybody in that stadium just sat there the whole time waiting for the wheels to come off the bus. Can this really be happening? You must have thought the same thing.
Well, a little bit. I mean, because the talent is so significant.
Oh, my God. They look so much faster and bigger.
Right.
They really do when you look at them.
But on that day, Syracuse played its best game of the year, really played a physical brand, took out their quarterback.
Yeah, Bryant went down.
Now you've got the lead, and you're playing not really with house money, but sort of you turn the momentum in a way where Clemson really had to then do something with its backup quarterback, and it never did.
What a thrilling game. It was just hard to describe. And your call was all over the place, okay? Because when something big happens at Syracuse, they take your voice and it goes viral and everywhere. And that was fantastic. You were kind of in shock because I heard you afterwards, and it almost was like stunning to you.
Well, it wasn't at that point. It wasn't a last-second thing.
No, they had won the game. Yeah,
and we've had games like that the result has come out of nowhere at some point, but that wasn't the case in that one, obviously, because basically they played with the lead for the great deal of the game. But then you try to want to, encapsulate what it means and how it sets apart from other games. And as you said, it's on the very short list of all-time great accomplishments in the Dome.
Now, after that, they lose 4 or 5 in a row. What happened there?
Well, they're just not good enough.
Okay, they're just not good enough.
I mean, you're not as good as you look on your best day or as bad as you look on your worst day.
Yeah.
And they weren't good enough to be able to sustain it and not deep enough. And you start to lose bodies. By the end of the year, and this has happened a couple years in a row now, Syracuse is sort of a shell of itself because the injuries sort of mount and accumulate, and they just don't have enough depth to repeat their best performances game after game, and that's the thing that they're trying to address.
Is Eric Dungy coming back?
Absolutely.
Oh, well, he's a thrill to watch. To me, he's potential Heisman, top 10 pick in the draft. If he has a good year, he's got it all going for him.
That may be a bit of a stretch in as much as the Heisman goes to a team that's a
winning
national title contender and is winning 9-10 games and up. And can Syracuse do that next year? I don't know, but the opportunity is there in front of them to do it. Dungy is a really exciting player that makes plays. I mean, to whatever extent he's run into issues with injuries, it's because of his
athleticism.
Happen. So he can sling the rock and knows the system, and he'll be a 4-year starting quarterback come the fall. And so he's in position to succeed. And now I think you are getting deeper at that position, and others on the team, which can only help everybody involved.
How about Ishmael? Is he going out?
Catches everything. He's gone.
He's gone. He's a senior. Yes. Is he going to get drafted?
To the draft. I mean, I'm not a fortune teller. I thought Ambadatawa was going to get drafted, and he didn't. So I would hope Steve would. It's hard to make a team as a free agent. When you get drafted, you're in position to get something done there.
Right. Okay, we're going to take a short pause. Come right back with more of Matt Park.
Now. But you don't know Greg works all winter long. Siding, windows, or roofs. Greg has financing for everyone. So call 585-727-0702 for a free estimate. But don't ask for roofer. Lost your job? Divorced? Medical bills? Is the world caving in on you? Avoid foreclosure and save your credit. Greg the Roofer will buy your house for cash in any condition, fast. Avoid the pitfalls of bankruptcy and call Greg now at 727-0702. That's 727-0702 and sell your house before it's too late. Jack Greco's Furniture is announcing their largest sale ever. Oak, cherry, maple, hickory, and quarter sawn oak. Dining room sets, bedroom sets, home office, flat screen TV stands, and all-season outdoor poly furniture. Now through Sunday, Jack Greco's for the finest in hardwood furniture. Here at Sleep Cheap, we have thousands of satisfied customers. Here's just a few.
I found this queen mattress at Sleep Cheap for only $3.99. Everywhere else in town, they wanted $1,000.
I shopped all over town for a king mattress, and I found the best value at Sleep Cheap.
I bought a great mattress for myself at Sleep Cheap, and while I was there, I bought a twin for my grandson for only $69.
With 2 locations to serve you, it's cheap, 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 cheap.
Okay, we are back with Matt Park, the voice of the Syracuse Orangemen. Every time you hear him on the radio, it's him. Matt, we were just talking about Ishmael. You don't know about him getting drafted, and it's hard to be have a crystal ball to who's going to go where. How do you see the football team next year? Improved?
Yeah, well, in point of fact, with Ishmael, I mean, I hope he is. I know he's projected to be. Unless a guy's a surefire first or second rounder, I'm kind of out of the business of guessing anymore.
Yeah.
We've had a number of players that I thought would be drafted higher than they were, and it hasn't worked out. So I hope it works out for Steve, because he's a great guy and put a lot of work into what he's doing, and his brother's in the NFL, and it would really mean a lot for him to get there. How will the football team be next year? I think you'll see a continued progression of improvement. They bring back a lot. There's significant losses. Now they lose in Ishmael and Irv Phillips, the top 2 wide receivers.
There was a receiving core,
linebackers.
Wow.
But, that's why you recruit, and that's why you develop players in your program. So they've got a junior college linebacker to kind of help speed up that process a little bit and move through some of the other things. And then I think perimeter offensive positions are improving. The offensive line, almost everybody's back except for the right tackle.
Well, that'll help.
Yeah, so that's what...
There's continuity there,
yeah. That's where you get the benefit of playing players before they're ready, and they take their lumps when they're younger. Now you play them long enough so that when they're juniors and seniors and they've made 20-some-odd starts, now that's what NC State was this year.
Yes.
They were playing with guys that had 30 starts across the board.
Yes.
7, 8, 9 guys. Well, that's a core of an old veteran team.
Yes, in college, yes.
And so you have to find a way to do that. And Syracuse has not been able to sustain enough or get all the ducks in a row in a way to build the roster in that way, but it is heading that direction now.
Okay, football's a ways away right now. Let's talk about basketball. By the time the show airs on Sunday, we're shooting this on a Tuesday, you'll have already played Georgia Tech and Virginia. So we don't know what's going to happen by then.
Games, weren't they?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah. Well, I've done that before. If they won or if they lost, we do that in football, okay, all the time. Basketball team is what? Would you say a bubble team right now as far as getting in the tournament?
Yeah, they're just kind of riding on that borderline right now, and that's why it's fun to kind of sway your emotions with every game. They're either in or out after every game. But you look at the way the ACC unfolds. Anybody can beat anybody. Every game, unless you're playing Pittsburgh, is up for grabs.
Pittsburgh could beat some teams too.
Unless you're playing, I would say Duke or Virginia aren't really up for grabs, except that Duke's explosive. I'd set them aside. Virginia, for as good as they are, and they're one of the very best programs in America, they're probably not going to score 80 plus
they
points.
They don't seem to,
So, and Syracuse is one of the best defensive teams. Virginia is one of the best defensive teams. So it's a slow, close to the vest, grinding type game. Well, now maybe if you make a couple of shots, you got them. So, and they've been able to beat them a lot here recently.
Well, last year
against
Virginia here in the Dome was Coach Boeheim's 1,000th win. I never saw him get excited in my life.
Yeah.
He went out there, he was waving to everybody. What a thrill for him, huh?
It is.
What an accomplishment.
Well, especially because it's of kind of the unofficial nature.
Yeah, but here in Syracuse, it's official.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm getting at is, if you just looked on the paper, you'd be, well, why is he even celebrating, right?
Yeah.
But for him to do that and to celebrate in his way, what everybody knows around here is a milestone, legitimately for him. And now to be well past that and with no end in sight, he's going to have 1,100 and then some. But absolutely rewarding for him and for all that he's done for this community and for this program, building it in essence from the ground up.
There's no larger figure in Syracuse than Jim Boeheim.
Correct.
No question. I mean, what he has done. And when you think basketball, and he's nationwide, it's not just local here,
Right.
So this year's team, when who's the star shooter?
Andrew White?
No, the other guy.
John Gillen?
No.
Tyler Lydon?
No, this year.
This year's team, there is no star shooter.
Forsett. What's his name? Brissett. Kobe Brissett. O'Shea Brissett. When he played, well, I can't even believe I didn't remember that. I watched every game and listened to him. When he plays well, they play well. It seems the team flies with him.
Well, he's the number 3 player on the team, I would say. Behind, Tyus Battle and Frank Howard.
Tyus Battle, I'm sorry, that's the guy I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
I really did my homework, didn't I? You know, I know every player, but yeah, when Tyus Battle plays well,
scores 20 points.
He scores 20 when and if he doesn't, they don't win. They don't play well.
Well, it's true of a lot of teams that don't have 4, 5, and 6 great players, but Battle is a pro, and is a guy that has more than half the games this year has scored 20 points or better, and has the knack for taking the game over. So, he's a spectacular player. When he is limited, then it puts pressure on other players. So now it's Frank Howard, O'Shea Brissett, the interior guys, and they're all kind of in development.
Now, in 15 years of watching this, was the national championship the biggest thrill? Would you say? I mean, you've seen a lot of basketball, and there's been a lot of great wins.
It's not. I mean, that's they only give out one of those a year. And that's what you put the banners up and have.
What a couple other games that come to your mind?
Well, for me, I mean, the first thing that always comes to mind is an individual game that was a thrill, just because if you love sports, you love the unscripted drama.
Got to be the UConn overtime.
The 6 overtime games.
6 overtime, yep.
Another one that was just for the extended period of it, the 06 Big East tournament, where Jerry McNamara is winning every game at the buzzer.
That was fabulous, yes.
Was really quite the rush. It only takes a bounce or two to have lost the 6 overtime game, and I remember that as fondly. But that 06 Big East tournament was a real thrill. And there have been a lot of them. I mean,
about a couple years ago, when a lot of people didn't think they should get in, and they got in and go to the Final Four.
Yeah, the weekend in Chicago to beat Gonzaga in the Sweet 16.
Oh, what a kick that was! We're all into this as fans and whatever, and following it. When they win, when they weren't supposed to be there, was just a thrill. And we could do the same thing this year. Here we go. You don't know.
You never know. I mean, this team's not as well equipped, I think, to pull that off as that team was in 2016. But all you're looking for is a seat at the table in the tournament. And Syracuse historically has been a real tough matchup for teams in the tournament for a lot of reasons. Number one would be the uniqueness of the zone defense. Number two is probably the seasoned coach, that he's kind of seen everything and done that. He's not going to get nervous. And number three is the preparation that you see over the course of playing in the best conference throughout the year, whether it was the Big East in the day or now the ACC. So should they get in the tournament, they'll be as well prepared for it as anybody.
Yeah, well, you never know. Matt, listen, thanks for taking a little time. We appreciate it. Best of luck to you and everything you do, and we'll be listening.
I appreciate it, Harry.
All right, Matt Park, voice of the Syracuse Orangemen. We'll be right back.
Roof. Everyone knows Greg the Roofer by now, but you don't know Greg works all winter long. Siding, windows, or roofs, Greg has financing for everyone. So call 585-727-0702 for a free estimate. But don't ask for roofer.
Lost your job? Divorced? Medical bills? Is the world caving in on you? Avoid foreclosure and save your credit. Greg the Roofer will buy your house for cash in any condition, fast. Avoid the pitfalls of bankruptcy and call Greg now at 727-0702. That's 727-0702, and sell your house before it's too late.
Jack Greco's Furniture is announcing their largest sale ever. Oak, cherry, maple, hickory, and quarter-sawn oak. Dining room sets, bedroom sets, home office, flat-screen TV stands, and all-season outdoor poly furniture. Now through Sunday, Jack Greco's for the finest in hardwood furniture. Roof. Everyone knows Greg the Roofer by now, but you don't know Greg works all winter long. Siding, windows, or roofs, Greg has financing for everyone. So call 585-727-0702 for a free estimate. But don't ask for roofer.
Hey, what a super guy Matt Park was, that's for sure. All right, everybody, this is Sunday morning. Super Bowl's on in a few hours, 6, 7, 8, 9. And everybody's excited. Can the Patriots lose? I know up here in Bills Nation and around the country, the sentiment towards the Patriot is pure hatred. Okay? Let's face it. The Patriots are now well-liked for many reasons, winning being one of them, cheating being another. And you know, it's going to be interesting. Can the Eagles pull this off? I don't really know. I kind of think the Patriots are going to just a team of destiny and refuse to lose no matter what. Gronk's going to be back. So they should be at full steam and nothing should stop them. If this Eagles team wins, this is one really good Eagles team, that's for sure. So, you know, all the doubters all year about the Eagles, we knew the Eagles had a good defense. Carson Wentz got the offense going. It's all on Nick Foles here. Let it rip, Nick. That's what I say. Don't hold him back. Let him play like he did against Minnesota. But just like to go through a few facts here that you may not know about from the Patriots and Eagles, okay? The Patriots and Eagles last met in the Super Bowl February 6, 2005 at Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville, Florida. The MVP of the game was Deion Branch. New England won that game 24-21. Season records in 2005, the Patriots were 14-2 in the regular season. The Eagles were 13-3 in the regular season. After the Super on 2005, New England was the #1 team since the Broncos' 97-98 season to win consecutive Super Bowls. Cost of the commercials back then, $2.3 million. I think they're up around $5 million this year, something like that. Wow. Patriots' reign is one of the most dominant and historic displays of sustained success in the history of the NFL. There remains little doubt that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time, and Bill Belichick certainly has a case for the best coach of all time. I don't think you need this game to cement that, to be honest with you. I think they've already proven. This just adds to their legacy. So, see what happens, everybody? Okay, we'll talk next week about the Super Bowl because obviously we'll know who won by then. Just looking around the world of sports, Blake Griffin traded to the Detroit Pistons. Boy, they're having a fire sale out there. I don't know if he's going to like Detroit coming from the sunshine and the glamour to Detroit. I don't know. Bills Nation. Our center retired, can't play anymore. Too bad. Woods was a great guy, a great leader, and everybody's going to miss him. I think they came as a little bit of a shock to the fans. I guess the team already knew about it from their injury reports and that kind of stuff, but we're going to miss him. Obviously, the talk is the quarterback talk. Now, the Kansas City guy, gone. Washington gave up a lot. So Cousins is available. I don't know. Is he a guy we'd be looking at for $25 million a year? I don't know. Only the brains of the Bills know. Or are we going to draft a young guy? I don't think anybody knows what they're thinking. I don't think they know what they're thinking. We know we need a quarterback. We have to move on from Tyrod. Just plain and simple as that. Nothing to think about from that. You know, we don't want to trade for somebody we already have because we know what we have with Tyrod, but be kind of interesting to see if Cousins would come to Buffalo, even for that matter. Suppose he'll go anywhere for the money, and it's going to take minimum $25 million, probably a $3-4 million deal. That's been the problem in Washington. They wouldn't sign him long term. So, you know, the soap opera continues with Bills Nation, even in the offseason, because now we're just totally back into it again now that we made the playoffs, and I think this year just rejuvenated the interest in the Bills, if not you know, sparked interest from what they did. So, see what happens in Bills Nation. We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy the Super Bowl. See you then.